welcome back to KAMMA. I'm Khalil Deal,
Andio.
and we're back to talk about UFC Vegas 112, also known as UFC Fight Night on ESPN 73, the last fight event of the year. Brandon Royval against Manel Kape, and we're going to talk about our final thoughts, predictions, and face-offs for the prelims, starting with the first fight of the prelims. Jamie Lynn Horth versus Teresa Bleda. I just finished watching the prelims, the face-offs. It's awesome. I'm super hyped about this now. So, Andio, who you got in this first one here after watching the face-offs?
It's a very unclear, unfocused pick here. I guess the AI wasn't working properly enough for them. So here I wanted to pick Jamie Lynn Ho, but I just can't do it. I'm picking Teresa Bleda to be stronger, tougher, and have a better ground game. I just don't think all those times fighting in where she couldn't get a quality opposition, and now she's older, and I think maybe she blew her chance here. So give me Bleda by decision.
Yeah, man. Looking at the face-offs here, you could see that I was shocked to see that I thought that Teresa Bleda had a 2-inch height advantage here. It's looking like Jamie Lynn Horth might be actually a little bit taller than Teresa Bleda. I don't know if this is maybe because of she was wearing some shoes there that are a little taller. I don't know. But yeah, she looks like she's a little bit taller. Both of them are in great shape. You can see Jamie Lynn Horth, muscular there and pretty built. But so is Teresa Bleda. She looks ripped as well and pretty built as well. So this should be a good fight. I just like Teresa Bleda's skills more. Of course, as you mentioned, Andio, with the grappling, she's got good submission skills. And I think that that's where she can dominate on the ground. So she needs to get this fight to the ground. Don't keep the fight standing so that Jamie Lynn Horth can get in close and get her in the clinch and hit her with some good shots. She needs to try to avoid those punches from Horth and get her to the ground and use her grappling and submission skills. So I'm going to take Teresa Bleda as well, and I say she wins this one by submission or decision. So we are still in agreement with the first fight of the prelims. Let's move on up to the next fight here. All right, this one here is going to be a pretty interesting fight. We got Alan Fry against Guilherme Pat. Now, these are big dudes, man, as you can see. Guilherme Pat is slightly taller at 6'5". Alan Fry at 6'4", but these are some tall fucking dudes, man. I like Guilherme Pat. I think he's built like a tank. He's he's pretty muscular. He's pretty big. Fry is not bad as well, but you can see that Guilherme is just a little bit bigger, and he just looks like a tough guy. He looks stronger. I'm going to take Guilherme Pat here in this one. I think he gets the job done. Knockout or decision here on Alan Fry.
Yeah, there's like no footage that I found on Fry, so I'm going to go with what I saw a bit of, which is Pat. So give me Pat by, I don't know, knockout.
All right, so yeah, we're in agreement still with Guilherme Pat here to get the victory. All right, let's move on up to the next fight. We got here, ladies going at it again here. We got Melissa Croden against Luana Santos.
Yeah, here I'm looking for Melissa Croden to keep the ball rolling. It may get a little dicey. She may get taken down a few times, but every round starts on the feet. I picture her getting aggressive and hitting Santos with some knees, some elbows, and just causing more damage. So give me Croden at the end of the fight to have more damage and win the decision.
Yeah, man. Looking at these two here, you can see that, of course, Melissa Croden's got that height advantage, which we talked about. It's significant 3-inch height advantage there. She's also going to have a 1.5-inch reach advantage as well. Physically here, you can see Croden's in good shape, man. She looks pretty lean and muscular, pretty ripped as well. Luana Santos is also lean. Not as ripped, though, as Croden and not as muscular, but still pretty lean and looks also actually maybe even a little bit thicker, especially in the arms there. But obviously you can see she's shorter. The thing is, though, is that Luana Santos has that ground game and that submission, those submission skills, man. And some MMA math for you. They both fought the same fighter. They both fought Tainara Lisboa. And Croden ended up knocking out Tainara Lisboa with ground and pound. But Luana Santos ended up submitting Tainara Lisboa with an Americana, which was one of the first female fighters to actually get that Americana submission. So I'm very worried. I got a slight lean on Melissa Croden to get the job done. She needs to make sure that she keeps the fight standing, keeps at a distance, and starts jabbing and hitting her with those straight punches and strikes and kicks. She cannot, for the life of her, get taken down or stay down for too long because Luana Santos does have the submission skills. So I'm going to go with Melissa Croden. Not very confident in it, but I'll take Croden to win. And I say she wins by... I'll say she wins by decision in this one. All right. So me and Andy still in agreement with this one. Like I said, I'm not very confident in it, though. All right. No. So let's move on up to the next fight here. Oh, man, these two are, man, looking at the face-offs here, man, these have got to be the most out-of-shape guys in the UFC, man, that I've, like, at least two of the most out-of-shape guys I've seen in a long time, man. Blubber everywhere, fat everywhere. I mean, looking at, anyways, it's crazy, man. I don't know what to say about they're both fat. They're both out of shape. I'll just say that maybe Steven Asplin is a little bit slimmer. None of these guys are muscular. But he's a little bit slimmer than Sharaf, at least around the stomach area there. I'm going to go with Steven Asplin in this one. He's taller. He's got some very good striking skills. I can see him being quicker than Sharaf. Sharaf looks just like a fat blob there. I can see Asplin moving around quicker there in the cage. I'll go with Steven Asplin here by knockout or decision. Horrible looking guys here, man.
Yeah, so Steve Asplin, he looks like a guy who used to weigh 600-700 pounds, by the way he looks here with all those rolls and everything. That must be the thing. If any of you five guys that end up watching this video knows if this guy was extremely obese and worked his way down to this weight, let us know in the comments. And
he was. Yeah. He lost around 300 pounds, they said, for him to become a heavyweight. That's what.
There you go. He's like a Brian Battle type of guy. There you go. Yeah, it's obvious. You could tell right away. Yeah, so good for him. But yeah, I'm going to go with Asplin also. I saw Sean Sharaf already in the UFC. Wasn't very impressed at all. And yeah, I think this guy should hit Sharaf with some of those shots when he leaves his openings there. Sharaf has to really grind it, make it dirty, and I don't think Asplin is going to be like the beacon of finesse here, but I think he's going to land some more quality shots. So give me Asplin by a knockout or decision.
All right, we're both in agreement still with Steven Asplin. All right, let's move on up to the next fight here. We got Neil Magny against Amosov. So it's Yaroslav Amosov here. So who you got here, Andy O, for this one?
Here I'm taking Amosov. I know Neil Magny is a tricky character. He's been washed up for like 10 years, but not really. I say he still can beat those mid-card guys anytime, or possibly get a loss against them, but Amosov is pretty good, man. I think he should be able to beat Magny here. I know it's his first fight, but he just lost his first fight. Well, not just, but within his past couple fights, I think. So that to me is kind of going to help him avoid the first fight blues here. Not to mention he's not coming into the UFC with as much hype as these other Bellator and other people, that have failed coming in recently. So that may be a good thing too. So I'm looking for Amosov not to get caught in a Magny's traps early on, not get caught up against the fence in the second round, and just use some good striking along with that good tenacious grappling to stomp Neil Magny out here. So give me Amosov by knockout or decision. No, sub or decision.
Nice, man. So yeah, looking at these two physically, I thought that Magny, I mean, it says that he's 4 inches taller. I guess it's close enough, but I'm happy that he doesn't look like he's that much taller. than Amazov here. But Neil Magny looks very skinny, man. He's super scrawny, very very skinny. Of course, he's ripped. He's got a little bit of muscles, but I'm gonna say that I'm definitely looking at the bigger guy here. Yaroslav Amazov is the bigger guy here. You can see that he's thicker than Neil Magny. He's got more muscles. He's more built, and he's also ripped. You can see the abs there, and he's got the skills. He's got the skills on the ground. He's a very good submission guy with 11 subs out of his wins, 9 knockouts, 8 decisions. Very well-rounded guy, and yeah, I think he can get the job done. I'm going to take Amosov to win this one. I don't think it goes the decision, but I'm going to go and say that Amosov wins this one by submission or decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up winning by knockout or sub. But I'll go submission or decision for Amosov here. All right, so we're in.
It's hard to call Magny fights either way. Sometimes how they're going to finish.
He's a very tricky veteran, Magny, man. He's a very good gatekeeper, and we'll see if Amosov can kick the gate down in this one. All right, so we're in agreement still with all the fights so far. Let's get to this next one here. All right, so we got Joanderson Brito against a new fighter coming in here. If you guys didn't know, Joanderson Brito was supposed to fight Melsik Bagdasaryan. That fight got canceled. Bagdasaryan withdrew out of that fight.
I heard Melsik hurt himself working on his grappling.
Unreal. So now we got this guy Isaac Thompson coming in here to face Joanderson Brito. So for this one here, man, let's see here. I'm going to go, of course, with Joanderson Brito. Now, this guy, Isaac Thompson, he's not, just some bum. Okay, this guy has fought, he's fought some pretty decent fighters. He's a fighter from Australia, began boxing at a very young age, at 8 years old with his father. His mother was a 3-time Australian Muay Thai champion, which made him get into the martial arts. He competed in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and karate. He trains with good fighters like Darren Elkins. He's also trained with Alexander Volkanovski in Australia. So he's got some skills, man. This guy's a good technical striker. He has come a long way with his wrestling, though, and his wrestling is not the greatest, though. His ground game isn't the greatest.
I don't trust any of these Aussies with their wrestling.
Yeah, he's a better striker, is what he is. But he does. He says it himself that if his opponent's better than him, he'll just take him down and strangle him. I don't think he'll have that much success with Joanderson Brito, who's way better on the ground, a way better Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specialist than Isaac Thompson here. Physically, he's in great shape, Isaac Thompson. You can see he's ripped and muscular and built there. But so is Joanderson Brito, looking really ripped in this one and looking very, very good. He's built really nicely here. You can see Brito trained hard in this camp for this fight here. So I got to go with the guy who's been in a full camp. Thompson coming in on very, very short notice. Give me Joanderson Brito to win this one here. I say he does it in violent fashion, knockout or submission.
Yeah, his striking is decent. His movement is not bad. All these guys from that area have a decent amount of technical ability, and they work on the technical side of the game. So I like that. But again, it's really, really short notice for Brito, and I think Brito's going to lose this fight by beating himself somehow, by gassing himself out, or just really overextending on some power shot or something like that. But that's probably not going to happen. That's if. So I'm going to take Joanderson Brito here on short notice by finish.
All right, so there you have it, man. Now we are at the main event of the prelims. We got the ladies going at it to finish off the prelims here. So if you haven't already, guys, smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new and enjoying. And yeah, we got the main event here, the ladies here. Who you got, NDO, in this one?
Yeah, the longer her career goes on, man, the more pronounced her difficulties on the ground seem to be with Amanda Lemos here. I am going to be picking Jillian Robertson. I like her better at this weight. That's why I'm more confident. I'd be less confident because of Lemos's power, I guess, if I wasn't happy with the way she looked at this weight. But I think she's going to be able to avoid those big, powerful, strong, manly shots by Lemos because she knows she has to. And the thing about Robertson is she really knows that, you know, where her bread and butter comes from. She's gonna work for those takedowns, and Lemos gives up a lot of times when she's down there. And I think in that kind of giving up process, she's actually gonna give up because Robertson's gonna snatch up that sub. So that's what I think. Sub Robertson.
Nice. Give me the younger Jillian Robertson, man. We're talking an 8-year age difference here. 30 years old, Jillian Robertson coming up in her prime here. You know, on a 4-fight winning streak, getting a lot of success. You can see here physically, she's in great shape. Of course, Lemos is in great shape. She always comes out in great shape as well. They're pretty ripped and lean. Muscular. You can see that Jillian Robertson slightly a little thicker and a little taller, but not by much. But yeah, the ground game is where it needs to be. Jillian Robertson has to get this fight to the ground, use her submission skills. As we talked about in the early predictions, Lemos struggles with grapplers and wrestlers such as Wiley Zhang, Verna Jandaroba, who's an amazing submission specialist, who submitted Lemos by armbar, and also Tatiana Suarez, who took her down a lot in that fight and won a unanimous decision. So I'm going to go with Jillian Robertson to win this one by submission or decision. All right, so me and Andy O agreeing on every single fight in the prelims. Let's get stay tuned for the next video for the main card. All right, coming up next. Peace out. Let's get it. KAMMA.